Now, let's deal with the main element, which is the parent to the various H3s and paragraph elements. So let's go back to our pen, and first I'm going to take a look at header. Okay? And I'm just going to copy header because it'll make things easier. And I want my main to be somewhat similar. Okay? I'm not sure if that is grammatically correct. Similar would basically say that they're not the same. So I don't know if I need to say somewhat similar, but anyway. That's my segue to pasting the main. So I'm going to find HR because if we look in our HTML, in our structure, in our outline, we have the header, we have the two HRs, and then our main content begins, our main. So let's go ahead and right after our HR, we will paste the header and we will change the selector name to our tag element main. All right, so the width is going to be 500. We'll keep the margin. We'll keep the padding. I do not want all of my text to be centered. So I'm just going to comment out the text, and we'll use, that way we'll allow the H3s to remain centered, and we'll allow any P tags, we'll control them ourselves with our text align. So let's go ahead and comment out. Now, you would likely just remove these, but just as a reminder of what we've done, if you take a look at this later on, this pen, you'll just see what we've changed, and it'll be easier to figure out exactly what's going on. So I may keep the border, but I'm thinking maybe not. So we can always come back and uncomment this if we change our mind. Nice thing about using comments this way. So border radius, we'll get rid of border radius. Let's leave our background color just because we can. Okay, so we're going to stay with the width of 500. There's some margin, and I might want to use margin on the top to push things around. Right now we just have some padding on the top. So what will happen is all of our type will probably get slammed into the left-hand side. But again, we could use margin on other elements inside. We could even use padding on other elements nested inside to get the result we're looking for. So let's leave things as they are, and we'll save. And let's take a look at what has happened. Okay, so now, because there's no margin here, all right, what's happening is our main is slamming up to this rule. So we'll probably add some margin on the top, okay? Then what you're going to notice is we've added like 30 pixels of margin to the top of this, which is fine elsewhere, okay? But maybe not what we want here, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look at our margins for our for main. So right now we have 0 at the top. Let's add 30 pixels and then 0 on the right. For right now, 0 on the bottom, and we'll do 0 on the left. Our padding on the top is pushing that main element down. I'm sorry, the H3. That's what's pushing, because there's margin on the top of H3, and then there's padding at the top of main. So that's giving us 50 pixels of space, I believe. So let's just go with 0, and we're going to save, and let's update. And now this is what we have happening. Okay, so interestingly enough, what's happening here is we've added margin here, and we did have margin on the top of this, but it's not behaving quite the way that we thought it might. Okay, so I'm not really too worried about that. We could always add some padding back to this to move the H3 down. I'm not really liking the white here. It's a little too containing. It works up here in the header, but it's a little too containing down here on the bottom. So I'm just going to remove the white background. So let's just comment this out, like so. And we'll save. And now let's update. All right, that's looking better to me. Okay, it has a little more of a free form. It's not so contained. Again, containing the header area kind of gives us that banner feel, so that's okay. But I don't want box after box after box. But I do like the fact that the width is similar to the header. Okay, so that's working out pretty good. What we need to do now is go back and sort of control, not sort of, but control the p tags. So we get the amount of space, we get a font family, font size, and whatnot. And then at one point we'll get down to dealing with these unordered list too. Okay, but next we'll deal with our paragraphs.